right now, we have the pleasure to have Karen Saurí with us. Karen works in Canada, a leading Spanish video producer. Karen has been working in Canada for many years, and it is a pleasure to have you here. She will be talking about the future of the music video production. Thank you very much, Karen, for being here with us.
Hi. Can you hear me?
We can hear.
Okay, amazing. So hi everyone. I mean, it's a pleasure, and thank you so much for inviting me to this conference. I mean, it's a pleasure, and nothing. I mean, it's really challenging to think about what is the future of music video, because I feel that it has been changing all the time in the last 10 and 20 years, because you have to think in the music videos at the end of the 90s, or maybe, I mean, I don't know if you remember, the huge music videos when they had, a really like a good budget, and also they were like super famous for everyone, very well known for everyone, also because it was quite easy to watch them in the TV. Like, okay, maybe you only have, I don't know how many music videos they released that years, but of course not the same that right now. Nowadays you can have I don't know, maybe a really good 10 music videos per day, which is crazy. So it was amazing how everything changed after that. MTV is not there anymore. I mean, not like we knew, before, and another TVs, which I think the industry it started to like split the money. Like, okay, maybe we don't have to invest in the music video, just in one music videos, because now everyone can watch and start to understand better the artists by YouTube and other platforms, and everything changed. And this is the most interesting thing, because some people start to say like, okay, maybe the music video is not important anymore, because maybe also it's very important to, I don't know, like create some, I know, some content for Instagram and another, I don't know, all related social media. But the truth is, even though it's true that now we have a lot of content and we have, I know, it's not fight, but let's say that it's not easy, like be the start of the career of the artist anymore. But the truth is the music video is still there, and is a really important, like element. For me, it's a really key element for a music, career. So when I'm thinking about the future, it's like, okay, it's curious, because if the music videos is still here, even though we have YouTube, Instagram, and I don't know, so many things that the artists, they can, they can show themselves by themselves in house, that maybe, the audience, maybe, and also the fans, maybe it's like, okay, this is more interesting than the music video. But it's curious, because everyone wants to know what, what the artist is going to release with the new album, and what is going to be like the image of that album. And the only thing, it's a music video, what is like, who can show that. So I think the future is that the music video is going to be there still. I mean, now I understand that for sure it's going to be there, but I think the industry itself needs to change right now, because at the beginning, when they could invest, in all that money in the music videos in the 90s, I think that the people who were involved over there, in that moment, they really let's say that that money that they invest, then that money were back. What that means that it were like an industry itself. Like, it wasn't only like a piece of art, that it was for sure, but at the same time it was something that, it's like a movie. Like, okay, this is, plenty of creative, but at the same time it's money over there. Now it's weird because every day it's very challenging for us because we have to create like an amazing music video, and every year, it's worse because like you have to think like, okay, last year that director did that production company. So all the time you really need to create the new stuff and be better and better. But at the same time, I feel that now we don't have the same money that before, and every year I feel the production, the labels, they don't want to invest that money for the music video, even though it's a key element for the artist's career. Which I think that we need to sit down, just think about, and maybe have a really good discussion between production companies and labels, because they're aware about the power and of the music video, but at the same time they don't want, not all the labels for sure, and not with all the artists for sure, but they don't want to, to invest or at least give that money to the production companies. I don't know. I know that there's plenty of strategies, and it's the same thing that I said before, that now we need to split the money because it's too many action related to the artist right now in every single EP or maybe album. But if we really want to keep, let's say the value of the music video and that creativity, and yes, show to the world the best that we have, all the directors. We have an amazing directors around the world. We really need to keep in mind that it's a lot of people behind of all these music videos working with all that. So we need to keep like, is a like every production is like a little movie, and if we really want to keep that quality, we don't need to invest that money for a music video. So I think the future of the music video is related to how production companies, directors, and all the people of the industry, it is start to have some conversation that I haven't heard before. So it's that conversation that they really want to fight. They really wants to start to negotiate it with the labels in a different way. Like, okay, guys, if you monetize that music videos, maybe the director, production companies, and some people, so, working in the music video, they should monetize in a different percent. I don't know exactly in that music video as well. So I think, to be honest, for what I saw in the last 2 years, even the pandemic and all the stuff, I feel that um, the directors, they're asking about why the artist is, um, getting back all this money, and I'm the director, I'm the creator of, of this amazing idea that helps a lot to understand the album and the artist itself in that moment, and nobody is paying back to the director or the production company. I mean, so so for me in that moment is, the most important thing and the most interesting thing right now, how maybe maybe it's going to change, in terms of legal stuff, agreements in the next year, in the next 2 years. I think it's going to be the big change in
Perfect.
terms
Perfect.
of, legal stuff. Of course, in creative, I don't know. Every year is different. New ideas, new, I don't know.
Yes, of course, of course. Well, it's extremely interesting to hear you talk about yes, this importance of the music video, and that the fact that it is not valued enough. And you work in a production company that is extremely well known, and Canada music videos are known for its depth. And we would like to know, how do you transform these cultural and social challenges into a music video clip, and what are several important aspects to consider in order to do so?
Well, I think I will say that this is maybe a question for the directors. Um, it's crazy. For me, music videos, like, it's like art. So it's something that you need to understand what is happening around you in the society, and I mean, and also it's related to the pop, the I don't know, the pop culture. So I'm not sure as a producer if I have answered that. I will say that as a producer, what we have to do is just to understand which is the best director right now in that moment. And it's true that it works super well when you have a director who is not interested in only what is happening right now, is someone who can understand the creativity in, I don't know, in all the areas. I mean, if you know a lot about literature, film, art, I know all the, I mean, all the creative stuff, that exists in this amazing world. Yeah, as much as you know about all these, then it's much easier when you have some elements and like, okay, so this is the artist, this is the song, this is the lyrics. Let's put everything together. Let's do a music video. And I think the best music videos is some of them, you're watching them and you can realize that it's plenty of amazing reference. I mean, it's not or like, okay, this is now we need to shot on film because now it's like what we have to do. I mean, it happens sometimes, like, oh, now we have to do a music videos, I don't know, made by post-production, or now it's animation. But the best ones is when you can watch them 20 years after and you realize that there is still like a piece of art. And only you can create that when you have a really good director behind that, can understand
Of course.
the artist in a, I don't know, in a different way. Like, okay, makes sense. I don't know. It's
Yes,
something.
yes, makes sense. It totally makes sense. And this is why I would like to ask another question that is totally linked to this,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
what is the importance of teamwork in the
oh
music
my gosh,
industry,
it's the whole
uh,
thing.
in the
I
music
mean,
video producer industry? Yes.
yeah, it's the whole thing. So basically, usually how it works in the music industry is, so the producer is from the production company. Um, so then you work with the director, but let's say that these two people, it's the only ones that they work for the production company. Then you have to team up with I don't know, like a huge crew. So you have to decide together with the director, like, okay, maybe this production designer is the best for this music video, then the director of the photography, then the stylist. So basically, I think that one of the, I mean, this is very, very challenging. And I think that you need to be like half psychologist for to being a really good producer when you have the treatment of the director in your hands and you have the budget, I mean, everything, and you have to decide with who you need to work in the project. Because even though some people is very talented, then maybe with that budget, or maybe if you need to shoot in Mexico, maybe in Budapest, or maybe in Paris, that some stylists, production designers, and maybe director of photography, maybe they're not going to work super well in different countries or with different budgets. So you need to choose another people. So I think, I mean, when we have an amazing music video, it's not only, even though it's signed by the director, it's not only about the director. The director is like, I don't know, he's the, she is there, like, saying what he feels that what is the right thing, but the entire team is talking to him, to her, like, okay, what do you think about this and this, and all together we create that music video. So absolutely, I mean, I can believe, I mean, I can think about the music video without thinking in all the head of departments, I mean, mainly, and of course all the crew, but the main of department, really, I mean, change one music video can change totally if you don't choose, your head of the department, right? It's crazy. Oh,
Can you
sorry.
hear me? Can you hear me
Now.
now? Perfect. If you could tell us a little bit, so different highlights of your professional career, something things moments in where you have had to learn and to adapt, and what has this, how has this impacted to your personal life, for example?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure. In the last in the last 6 years, yeah, I've been involved in some difficult projects. I mean, are really good ones in terms that then the result was amazing. But as a producer and as a human being, it was like quite difficult. I remember once, I think now 2 years ago, I will say, we were for 3 weeks in Budapest shooting a music video, a huge music video. It was so challenging, so challenging. You have to think that it was so big, and when you are not shooting in your country, it's difficult sometimes, even though maybe the production company is very is I mean really talented. But when you're shooting in Barcelona, in that case, that the main headquarters, Canada headquarters, is in Barcelona, it's much easier because you know very well your crew, and you can control much better your budget. And I think that project, it changed in my career is when you realize that you're struggling every day, every night, and you are thinking like, okay, I need to change. Maybe it doesn't make sense to be a producer anymore because this is so difficult. But you're aware that at the same time you have a piece of art in your hands and you have to fight every day. And you don't know why you have to change your mind. It's like, okay, maybe if we produce in that way, it's not happening what I thought that it should happen. So maybe you need to change, open your mind, and I don't know, just try a different thing. And is what I try to do. Just adapt all the time. Like, okay, don't worry, it's fine. And it's what I learned, I think, in my as a producer, as a music video producer, that sometimes I don't have the same. I mean, sometimes, mostly all the times we don't have the same budget that in commercials. So it's it's more difficult because you don't have all the resources that you need. You have to invent all the time, create, finding solutions. It's quite. And in that moment, it's when I'm realized like, okay, just change, adapt, and invent new thing, and it's fine. I mean, even though maybe we wanted to shoot in a lake. I mean, just an example, we wanted to shoot in a lake and in a forest. And the day before, 2 days before of the shooting, we realized that where everything is snow was is fine, it's beautiful, but it's a change. Like, okay, now our film it is going to be like another thing. It's fine, let's adapt. But come on, I mean, sometimes it's crazy. It's quite unexpected all the time, all the day.
Of course. And what would you say to someone that is really interested in, for example, in becoming a producer in such an industry? And if you could say some, if you could tell them some advice to perform a career in this field.
Yeah, for sure. I think my main advice is you need to be passionate, and you have to keep in mind that it's not going to be easy at all. I mean, even though you have experience, even though you're going to work in a huge music videos in the future, of course, not at the beginning. I mean, you need experience. But every single project, even though you have money and even though you have an amazing crew next to you, is going to be like really, 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 really challenging. I mean, so I will say, like, okay, if you love music and you love the idea to produce, start to produce with the bands that you love, maybe in your city, in your country. Just try to do some stuff with some friends, and then start to work in a production company. And let's try and let's feel, you know, because the most important thing is to have experience. Every project is different. Maybe, in one you are shooting with a drone, in another one you have to go in I don't know, in another country. Then you have, I know, a lot of casting. In another one you have just performance of the artist. I mean, it's just everything in our life you learn every day. But in that case, I think you need maybe 2 years and to have different kind of projects to understand if if it's something that you want to do in the future or not. And I will say that for being a good producer in the music industry, it's um, to be fair, to say always the truth, and to have a lot of intuition, I will say, and read a lot, watch a lot of movies, and listen a lot, because then when you're going to be like a big producer, like I don't know, like someone who has to produce like you know um, like a big project, everyone is going to have some problems, and you are the key element in that project that everyone is going to, I don't know, to ask you for solutions. I know, or just the person who everyone is going to tell you about problems, about money, how they feel in case they are very tired, in case they feel, I don't know, frustrated with the conversation with the director. So at this point, you realize that maybe you don't have the answer, but you can listen to them, and maybe themselves, just with that conversation that you're not doing nothing, just listen, they can find the solution. Like, okay, thank you so much, you have you listen to me, and we know now the answer for the next week, and how we can shoot this. And it's amazing, like, okay, we realize that as a producer we are like mothers, we are sisters, psychologists, I don't know, everything.
Of course, of course. Really, really interesting to hear how a producer has to do all these tasks and has to also have a lot of empathy and to understand everyone.
Yeah.
And I have a question about your experience with recently with Physical from Dua Lipa, which has won
Mhm.
several prizes. And if you could tell us about how has your experience being with such a big project, and how is afterwards your satisfaction with it. So for example, after a project has finished and you see the results of it and you see that it has been successful, how do you feel about it?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I mean, you have to think that the management of Dua Lipa, they have been chasing me for 1 year more or less. So it was crazy. Like, okay, Dua Lipa, she really wanted to work with Canada directors, and I don't know, for 1 year it was like, hey guys, maybe it makes sense to work with Dua Lipa. I mean, she's mainstream, but at the same time, she has the qualities that we really want. At Canada, it's not that just the thing that you have the money. It means that we need to work to you. I mean, it's not like this. So it's like you have to be like a really talented artist. So it was like I don't know, another kind of experience. You have to think that after 1 year, finally the director, I mean Lope, he decided like, hey, okay, I think I like this song. Okay, let's see, maybe I'm going to write a treatment. So we have been waiting for 2 weeks that Lope say yes, finally, to write the treatment. Then 2 weeks more for the treatment, and then start the negotiation with them. But it was lovely because Dua Lipa herself, she decided to jump on a call with us, just for, I don't know, just to have some words with the director. Like, okay, I like this and this, but maybe I don't feel comfortable with that. Like a really creative discussion between them. It was lovely, but it was crazy. Like, how is possible that Dua Lipa, she has the time just to jump on a call with us? And then I realized that she's this kind of artist that you really want to work with, because she really want to take care of everything. And of course the process was huge. 5 weeks of pre-production, then 3 days of shooting in Barcelona, and then 1 year and a half, 1 month and a half for editing, animation, post-production, blah blah blah. It was huge, of course. My career changed. I mean, after that, I got the nomination for the best producer of the year in the UK Music Video Awards. That for us, it's like in Europe is something very important for us, because the whole industry in Europe who is voting for that award. And I know that they I mean, I'm aware that they voted for me for that music video. So come on, it changed. I mean,
Of course, congratulations, congratulations
yes,
for
it
this.
was crazy.
Of
I
course,
haven't won, but it was crazy. A nomination it was enough.
of course, of course. And would you say, what would you say were your favorite contracts you've had with different artists? We know you've worked also with Rosalia or with other artists. Would you say that this one from Dua Lipa was the most challenging one, for example?
No, I mean, even though it was crazy, but you have to think that we had some good budget for produce it, and it was challenging. But at the same time, we had like amazing, amazing, amazing crew. And I wasn't alone. I was with Laura, is my colleague at Canada, producing the music video. So challenging, crazy, but I think the most challenging in my career, um, yeah, I will say that music video for Falls in Budapest. And also 2 years ago, I was in New York shooting a music video for Shura. And it was very challenging for me because we had a production company there helping us, and we had a money as well. I mean, it was like a tiny budget, but we decided to, I don't know, to produce it because it was like an interesting idea, and why not? And we love her. It's an artist that we respect, but it was very challenging. You feel very alone in New York. Like, okay, I don't have money. I have to produce here. And it's crazy. It's a different thing. I mean, I'm going to remember forever all this kind of project for sure, and Dua Lipa for sure.
Of course, of course. And we would like to know how you balance your professional life, which is hectic, which is very stressful, especially I guess when you have many projects, with your personal life. How do you manage to find a balance with it?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have a therapist, of course. So basically, yeah. So basically what happened is the first 4 years working as a music video producer, I mean, I was working all the time, all the day, and it was fine. But then I realized, like, okay, I don't have life anymore. And I mean, I really enjoy with some stuff, to be honest. I'm a music lover, and I really love literature, and I really like to see some exhibitions because I study history of art before studying communication and film. So after 4 years, I realized that I had a life anymore. So that's why I thought that maybe to have some help with a therapist, I thought that maybe would be the best idea, and it works. So let's say that you need to understand in your life that even though you love your work, um, if you don't feel like that you have your own space, that your brain can breathe, then in your work, maybe you don't have the best ideas. I'm realizing the last 2 years that I had more time for me. It's not that I don't have the same work because it's not true. Just I learn how to say no sometimes and how to find like a free time for me. Like, look, I really need to read this book. So let's say that after 10 p.m., I'm not going to answer any mail, any call, anything. But it's very difficult. It's true. For a producer, it's not easy to have a personal life.
Of course, of course. And I guess, well, thank you very much for being here on a Saturday. And just to end up this amazing talk, we would like to know. So, what are your prospects? What are your next projects? If you can tell us a little bit more about it, or if you can give us a small insight about it.
Yeah. So for the next 2 months, I have two different good projects. So next week we're going to shoot with an artist based in Barcelona. So it's a local artist, but we really love her. So we will release the music video at the end of March, so don't worry. In 1 month, you will see this music video. But it's nice, like when we are just supporting some artists from Barcelona. And then we have another one with a big artist international artist in April. It's a secret. But I can't hear you, Juan. Juan, I can hear you.
Now? Perfect. So sorry. Well, thank you very much, Karen, for this.
Thank you so much.
It's been very interesting to hear your insights about the future and about your personal experience with this exciting industry. Thank you very much. I will now pass on the mic to my colleague Shaima. She will be introducing our next speaker, and thank you very much again, Karen.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.